What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over how you can get mobility items every match in Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 3, or just the things you want to keep in mind when playing throughout the course of the game to get yourself mobility. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you would like to use my code in the item shop, it is EvolveJake, and it is underneath the webcam. And let me know down in the comments below what your favorite mobility item is this season. So we're going to start off with the guaranteed ways to get mobility and then get into some of the more like guaranteed, but it's a chance on what you will get. But there is several guaranteed ways to get mobility this season. It really should not be a problem. The first easiest is going to be by putting a dash sprite into a shrine. This will give you 4 shockwave grenades, which is a good amount of shockwave grenades for doing something as easily as putting the dash sprite in the shrine. By nature of doing this though, you also have yourself a dash sprite, which is of itself a mobility item. You can throw it down to get the dashes. So at that point, you would have dashes and shockwave grenades, which might not be your preferred mobility for this season, but this is something that you can do quickly and easily if you have no mobility yet at that point in the game. Get yourself some shockwaves, and then later on in the game, hopefully get yourself the item that you would actually prefer to have. There's also several NPCs on the map that are currently selling mobility items. So Shockwave, or the Synthwave NPC that is at the kind of neighborhood on the like far left side of the map, she actually sells base boost gloves. She sells purple base boost gloves for 300 gold. The Haley Sky NPC at Pumped Power sells shockwave grenades. The Hope NPC at Supernova Academy also sells shockwave grenades. And the Light Rider NPC at Shiny Shafts will actually sell the Surf Cube. So if you like landing at or around any of these POIs or areas, making a trip to that NPC is going to be guaranteed mobility for you. And the same thing is going to be true of this as I was talking about previously with the Shockwaves. Some of these items might not be your preferred mobility item, but it's much better to have a mobility item you don't prefer than to have no mobility at all. And just getting that item will give you opportunities throughout the course of the game to maybe live in fights that you would have lost, push enemy players and get an elimination, and that could, end up getting you the mobility you want. These small spires that will spawn around the map, these are marked by a little white spire logo on the map. It's not the big purple ones. These can be defeated pretty quickly and pretty easily. And when you defeat the small spire, it will drop a good amount of loot. And in this loot, there is guaranteed mobility. So from my experience since the Surf Cube update, the small spire will drop a Surf Cube every single time you eliminate it. And then it will also drop a second mobility item that varies between the Mist Form Cape and the Base Boost Glove. So you get the cube plus one other mobility item, which is going to be the Mist Form or the Base Boost Gloves. And for doing something as easy as defeating that small spire, that amount of mobility to guaranteed get, I think, is quite good. And you also are going to get hero points, which brings us to our next kind of main point to get mobility. And the main thing that people kind of consider is going to be the hero crates. And now these are random to a degree in terms of what you get, but most of them, A tier and S tier ones wise, they're going to be guaranteed mobility. So C tier, from my experience, I don't think it has any chance to give you any mobility items. The B tier crates have a chance to give you the blue base boost gloves. From my experience, the B tier crates, they'll give you a hero item every time, but that item rotates between the base boost gloves and then the blue version of the kill switch revolvers. So while the B tier crates aren't guaranteed mobility, it's a good chance at mobility. The next 2 tiers, A and S, are guaranteed mobility every single time. So the A tier crates give 2 hero items. One of these hero items is going to be either the Mythic Base Boost Gloves or the Mist Form Cape. So that's slot 1. It's going to be one of those 2 items. The other hero item you can get out of the A tier crates is going to be either the Surf Cube or the revolvers. So you have a chance for double mobility out of the A tier crates, but you are at the very least guaranteed some form of mobility in either the Mythic Base Boost Gloves or the Cape. Similar to how the small spire works, they're kind of competing for the same slot. The S tier crates, unfortunately, don't have that double mobility spawn, but in a similar way, it's guaranteed between the Mythic Base Boost Gloves and the Mist Form Cape. So you're guaranteed mobility out of the S tier crates. It's just going to be one of those 2 items that are competing against each other. in several of the other spawn, or several of the spawn locations that we've already talked about. And I know some people would look at this and be like, well, it's not guaranteed, it's random what you get. That is true, but as I've touched on several times throughout this video, having mobility at all puts you in a significantly better place than not having it. So like, even if it isn't the best mobility item, having something, I'm not the biggest fan of the Mist Form Cape, but I would much rather have the Mist Form Cape than no mobility at all. So the A and S tier crates are guaranteed mobility. It's just random which one you get. Since this change happened, I would highly suggest getting your hero rank up as fast as possible. That needs to be like a conscious goal of yours from the moment the game starts, in my opinion, is to get hero rank. And you can do this by eliminating other players, surviving storm circles, putting these sprites into the shrines, throwing the dog treats at a structure. There's several ways to get points, and it's really not that difficult to rank up to A tier at least. And some of the kind of ways to rank up were other guaranteed ways to get mobility, like putting the dash sprite in a shrine will give you hero points and those shockwaves, which can hold you over until you get mythic gloves. The small spires, again, it's a chance for purple base boost gloves, but also gives you hero points and is going to put you one step closer to being able to open the A and S tier crates and get mobility that way. So my goal very early on in the game, get eliminations, get looted up, get to A or S tier as fast as I can. And then from that point forward, I'm kind of hunting for those A or S tier crates, trying to get the mythic base boost gloves because I think those are an incredible mobility item and they are very much worth having. And they give you a huge leg up on, you know, other players in the lobby. Another way for you to get mobility is going to be the hero item spawners. These are just like the little locations that spawn hero items guaranteed. You'll find these at several POIs across the map. This is not guaranteed mobility, but it's decent odds of mobility because you have the base boost gloves and the Mist Form Cape, which are mobility items that are included in this. So these spawners aren't guaranteed, but they're, you know, if you need mobility, they're definitely something you can go for. Supernova Academy has these rooms underneath that you can open based on your hero rank, and there's also bunkers around the map that are kind of marked with like a beaker icon. And not only do these locations have hero crates inside of them and hero item spawners, which give you, you know, good chances at getting mobility the more of those that you expose yourself to, but there's also slots on the wall of these locations that can spawn mobility items for you to purchase, whether it's shockwaves or base boost gloves. I believe even the Mist Form Cape can spawn there. But this is just another potential way for you to get yourself mobility. By hitting up these labs, you get hero crates, you get hero item spawners, and at worst case scenario, you also get the items on the wall that you can purchase to hopefully top yourself off on mobility. There are many different avenues to get mobility this season. If you are active at all while playing the game, I don't think it should be that difficult for you to get to A tier at least, and then at that point, you can open the A tier crates and the B tier crates, hopefully get mobility that way, and I don't think it should be a problem. One final thing I want to touch on is going to be the Robin Grappler, which you can purchase from the Robin NPC. He is at the building that used to be the black market outside Mask Meadows. This is 600 gold, and there's only one of it in the lobby, and that's kind of why I didn't talk about it when I was touching on the other NPCs, is because, like, the frequency of being able to get this is not that high unless you're just landing directly on him. But, you know, weird situations happen in Fortnite, and there could definitely be games where, you know, maybe just no one lands on him and you're able to, you know, rotate to there and get it, or maybe choose to land there yourself. But that is going to be it for this video. I think it sucks to play without mobility, and it's a struggle when you don't get it, but it really shouldn't be that much of a struggle this season with how many different avenues there are to get mobility items. And if you find yourself consistently having this problem, I would assume you maybe just need to be a bit more active throughout the course of the game to rank your hero rank up and then, you know, end up opening those chests and getting the mythic gloves. But that is going to be it for this. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.